Hi, it's Sonoria. I'm back again with my story, part 35 or 36. So, continuing on with the adventure, what happened after I was released from prison. So, now I've been introduced to the dope game. So, somebody was telling me about drugs. Now, I'm not into drugs, and so, but I heard it makes money. So, I'm about money. I like making money. So, I said, yeah, I'll try that. And so, girl, if you don't know about drugs, girl is considered cocaine, and boy is considered heroin. Now, the difference in the two is cocaine is an upper, and heroin is a downer. So, when I first started doing the drug scene, I was doing the boy. So I had customers that used to just nod out, just be knocked out, and I thought they were dead or OD'd or something, and I had to learn. And it smells the blood because they be running it through their veins and stuff, and in their toes or wherever they can make a hole to hit a vein. So I didn't like that too much. I didn't like the atmosphere of that. And a lot of times when I would pull up with the drugs, I always felt like they were trying to rob me. And I always had my gun on me. Don't get me wrong. I always was carrying some heat. So, and I'm a girl. So, I'm in a business that's primarily for guys. So that was that. So at the end of the day, um, I sold that for a little while and I didn't like it. So this other guy was turning me on and said he had some girl. I said, what is girl? And so he started telling me about cocaine. So they call it crack. But the time that I was coming up doing what I was doing, there was a lot of people that was snorting it or tooting it or whatever you want to say. And then there was some that was getting it rocked up for cocaine for crack. And so I had a connection. I had one friend that turned me on. After that, I happened to run into um, some guys who were in the game, and they turned me on to it. And I ran into a big player. Like, he was so big, and there was he didn't even stay in the same city. I stayed in Denver. He didn't even stay there. He stayed in a whole nother city. And so every now and again, and like, you couldn't go to this dude and say, oh, CC sent me. He's not. No, you're liable to get killed because he didn't do business like that. It would be me and only me, and that was it. I don't care if I did tell somebody. They couldn't go behind my back and try to go meet this person or do something. You would end up killed because he was a real kingpin. So as I was going out there, when I went to go meet up with him, not even in his state, but in another state, because they were having a players convention. Girl, if you ain't never been to a players convention, let me tell you something. It was all kind of pimps and hoes. I became a madame my damn self. I had some hoes too. I was like, oh yeah, she gonna make some money. And they was looking at me and shit. I'm like, I'm not into women, but come on, yeah, you can join my team. Now, the difference in me and the guys are the guys actually pimps actually be beating their asses, you know what I'm saying, and bruising them up. I wasn't into that. I'm not into girls, and you ain't got to do nothing for me. But you do have to get medically checked out before I turn you on to Johns. I also took pictures of them, and when I go to bars and places, I would talk to the guys, and they would think I'm coming on to them. But I was telling them, no, I got some girls that you can holler at. They clean, this and that. And I would open up my book, and I would show them the pictures. They would show me which one they wanted, let me know what treatment they wanted. They would pay me, and I would make sure they got to the room with the girl. Worked out smooth. It was such a great business. I loved it. And the girls, they really appreciated it. I had a lot of women who actually left their pimps and was coming to me. And I had a lot of pimps that was pissed off. And when I went to the players ball, I mean, I had a crew. I had a crew of fucking females, and I was the madame. They brought their money to me like they would a pimp, and they was bringing their money to me, and I was taking care of them. I was buying them clothes. You know what I'm saying? Let them do whatever they want to do, but you had to stay clean. You can't be dirty. You can't have no dirty vagina and be hanging out. So I would want them always to go to doctors and get checked out and have condoms and things of that nature. But yeah, and if the man wanted to give them more money or tip them, I let them keep it. That was their money. But you had to bring me my money off the top. I always get my money because I'm gonna get it from the John. I'm not gonna wait for you to give it to me. And then all you do is show up and perform, and then that's that. And I also had people who were bodyguards who actually watched the rooms and watched out because there's a lot of perverts out there. And I didn't want my girls getting hurt or killed or, beat up and stuff because there was a lot of that going on back in the day. So that was another part of my life. So at a young age, I got exposed to so much. Um, I'm in my 20s. I'm doing big shit. I got so much money, I can't even count it. That's just, I literally could not count it. And I would just get bricks like, um, you talking about like a cornflake box of cornflakes. I had raw dope, not no cut, nothing. I had some shit. I was really rolling. So I had a couple houses. I was doing big shit. I had my runners. I had cars. I had a different apartments. It was a lot of shit going on, and I was living a fabulous life. Now, mind you, I ain't never had a license, but I had cars. But I wasn't buying the cars for me. I was buying them for other people. And the strawberries, these are like hoes or prostitutes or females. They would actually, I would get them to go and rent the apartment for me in their name with their ID. I would pay them, and it would be like their apartment, but it was what I was using to hold my dope in the sale and do whatever. So I had a couple of houses. Now, this is something else that I found very peculiar about the situation. I had a lot of police officers that used to buy dope from me, and I knew who they was, and they knew I knew who they was. But a couple of them used to like bring me up to speed and say, "Listen, we about to hit your spot on such and such a street, and this and that." Okay, bet. They wouldn't bust me, but they would tell me that they were about to bust the spot, not to be there. So I would have so much taken away or let it go on or whatever and be, up on it. The other thing that I found in this business is a lot of people that you wouldn't think is on drugs was doing drugs. I'm talking about I had Shriners. So when they came to town, when they would come to Colorado, they would have the Shriners come. And these little conventions that they have, honey, please, them Shriners be partying. I don't want to make it like it's all of them, but yeah, no, they be into some shit. You hear me? And they some little freaks and want this and that and whatever. We have little parties for them and whatever. The girls do their thing. And I made hella money with them, hella money. And I made a lot of money with the police. So it is just what it is. If you get caught up, then there's nothing that you can do because they may not be the person to come to your house to bust you. It might be another police officer, and you can't do nothing about that. But those that knew, they would always warn me. I would shut it down, and I was always moving my shop, different places, different houses, and I moved one spot and open up another one somewhere else. It was just so easy to do. It was, and then I got a couple threats from a couple females that I had did time with, and they knew me, and they wanted me to give them favors. Oh, come on, hook us up. Oh yeah, shit, I was with you, and remember when you did time? Yeah, yeah, I do. But again, I'm in business. I can't be giving away shit. I can't. I don't make money by giving you shit. I'll give you some love. I'll give you a little extra. And then they started coming with their baby shit. I felt so bad. You selling your baby's toys and games and clothes and pampers, and when you the dope man, people bring you stereos, they bring you TVs, they bring you anything they think they can get a couple of dollars out of. That's the God's honest truth. And it made me feel really bad. It made me really aware that something I was doing, not only is I hurting this person, but it's affecting them in such a bad way. I seen some nice ass looking girls who let their whole body go down and was out there turning tricks and doing all this stuff to get this dope. I couldn't handle it. I got to get out, but I got busted before I did. So I ended up going to prison again because I got caught in the dope spot in one of my houses. But the people didn't know who I was. They actually was looking for me, but they didn't know it was me because different houses. If I go over here on Green Street, I'm one person. If I go over here on Yellow Street, I'm just saying these actually are numbers, but wherever I would go, I would change my identity. Like sometimes you see on my videos, I have different raps and different stuff. I would be different, whole different name, different everything, different car. I always went to that spot with the same identity. I never did change. So that's, if they were trying to tell on me, plus they never knew my real name. You don't never mix your name into you do not shit where you lay. Always remember that if you out there, you trying to run some game, you trying to come up with some new shit, whatever you do not shit where you lay. Always remember that. So that was that. Okay, I'm up on this time again. You know, I'll be looking at this time clock, but I'll be back, and I'm not sure exactly what topic I want to talk about um, next. But I wanted to get through that because a lot of people don't aren't aware of some of the stuff I've done and some of the things I got into as I was younger, and I have led a very dangerous life and an adventurous life. But yes, so I'll be back, and this is Sonoria with my story, and I'll be going to part 36 or 37.